Hello again there, everyone. I don't know if I was going to end up making another video after the last one. It was tough. Took a lot out of me. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to talk in that and what I wanted to say, but it got a lot of good response. It resonated with a lot of people. Northwest Minnesota is not on a lot of people's radar, but what happens up here affects a lot of people. And there's a lot of us Democrats up here. There's a lot of family people just trying to live their lives. There's a lot of young kids in this area that will end up leaving when they're older because it doesn't offer them what they need. So I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit for anyone who might not know me. Um, and we'll see. Maybe I'll do some more videos just complaining about our politics up here and everything. Uh, so yeah, if you want to listen to me for the next few minutes, hanging out with Log here. My name is James Seville. I was the DFL endorsed candidate for Minnesota House 1A in 2022 and 2024. I ran against John Burkle both those times. It was a new process for me in 2022. I was a placeholder candidate because no one signed up to run. Didn't know anything I was doing, had no idea about campaigning, but the DFL was calling people around saying, hey, would you be willing to sign up so we had someone on the ballot in 2022? And I said, yeah, sure. And it was eye-opening that there's so many closeted Democrats up here. There really is. This used to be an incredibly blue area back in the day, and you hear so much about that. Back in the day of Roger Moe, back in the day of Colin Peterson. And people hold on to the glory days when you could go up and down the entire Red River Valley, when this was just such an agricultural powerhouse of DFL. And the times have changed. Everything has changed so much. But starting out here, so again, my name's James Seville. That's it. I ran. It's my sign right here. I ran for Minnesota House 22-24. It was fun. If you've never campaigned before, if you've never volunteered, give it a try. You get to do dumb stuff. This is one of my stickers. Minnesota wearing some pretty sweet shades. Loved it. Went over really well. It's our Minnesota Friends sticker. You can be an MF or two. Still have some of these if anyone wants one. It's a lot of fun. We did a lot of our campaigning based on memes and shit posting first year. A lot of it was just going out there and having fun because I didn't know anything. You know, I was younger and was a total Bernie bro at the time. Still love Bernie. Shout out to Bernie. But politics has changed so much back in the day from when I started out. My first election was 08. And at the time, it's kind of weird to say, but I was very involved in the Ron Paul Revolution. If anyone remembers that, bunch of bullshit back then. 4chan sucked a lot of us in, and it got a lot of us politically active. I'll say that. Digging deep into it, more than, 10 seconds, you kind of see through a lot of the bullshit. But it got a lot of people out there and politically active, and that's what started me out. And moving out to Minnesota, got heavily involved in local politics here. I live in Thief River, and our city council at the time had people throwing chairs and fights, and it was great. I love the drama. It's so dumb. It's amazing. But for the most part, politics is ignored up here. We have Senate District 1, which right now is Mark Johnson. He's the Senate Minority Leader. So the seat of power for the GOP in Minnesota Senate is in this district. For the most part, he doesn't do a lot, puts out some press releases, but his district has now become incredibly safe. I met him. Our kids have robotics together. His are getting a little bit older, and I don't know if they'll be in anything anymore, but He's fine, you know, as a person. His politics, again, are not aligned with mine at all anymore. Um, John Burkle, I best I can say about him is, you know, potato salad. The dude is so completely forgettable, and you don't notice him at all. He does nothing for the area. I'm waiting to hear back on an editorial that I put in, not an editor, a letter to the editor, I guess you'd want to call it there. I called him out. I called him out on being completely forgetting that Thief River exists, that Articat exists. He made a post today on a social media, and it's just a little blurb. Again, I'm going to wait for a full press release and probably a later video saying, oh yeah, Articat's shutting down. That's terrible. You can get a hold of my office, and, you know, maybe we'll find something we can do for you, point you to some resources that I want to shut down. But that was it. No mention of how many jobs are lost. No mention of anything else going on. Just, you know, yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry. 4 lines. That's all he can muster for us. And it's sad. It's sad that that is the best that the GOP could even do up here in an area that is now fairly safe. My goal on this, and I don't know YouTube the best. I don't know how to do all the shorts and everything. I've had quite a few people say, hey, you know, condense this, make some shorts, and I'll learn because there's not a lot of good news sources out here. I'm not going to say I'm a good news source at all by any means, but I'm very involved, and I want people to be able to see and learn what goes on up here because we don't get a lot that goes on. Most of our news is based out of North Dakota, Grand Forks, and Fargo. And even that is so well outside of the major cities in our district, between Roseau and Thief River. It's gonna be what it is. You're gonna hear a lot of complaining on here as I just figure out what to say and what's going on. I'll probably end up running again, and this will probably get taken over from that. We'll see. It's very hard not to want to sit here and do nothing but grievance politics and ranting and raving, and I'm trying to be very nice as I can and not start cursing because it doesn't get as much done. It makes me feel a lot better. The stuff that I say to myself when the wife and kids are not around sure makes me feel good, but it's not going to bring anyone new to the table at a time where we could really use new faces. Now's the time to get active. Now's the time to put in some work. There's been a lot of people out there who are now showing up to protests, who are now saying, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? How come we didn't do this? Well, we should have done this or that or this. Where were you guys last year when it mattered? Over the past 2 cycles, 30 parades, it was me and my wife and kids and just a couple of the same volunteers every time. Fair booths, it was me and a couple friends manning these things every time. I'm happy people are now getting involved. Please actually get involved. Bitching on the internet only goes so far. We need people to show up. There's protests all around the state right now. I'll be going to one tomorrow morning up in New Fulton. If you're in the area, show up. If you're not in the area, hey, find one local to you. It's not always easy, especially in these rural areas like I'm in. Everyone knows who I am. Everyone knows that I've run. I don't hide. I don't try to be like, yeah, I'm just here. I'm very proud to be a DFL member. Very proud. of what I've accomplished. Uh, I don't try to hold back, and I hope people are willing to put that same effort in. If we have elections in the future, we need all the help that we can get to keep these running. We have to show up. We have to show our neighbors that it's okay to show you're here. It's the only way we move forward. 1A is heavily Republican. Roseau County is one of the most conservative districts in the state, behind Otter Tail and one or two others that I can't remember off the top of my head here. My district's also the second largest. It's huge. 3A is the only one bigger than mine. That's the entire Arrowhead. But I've still managed on my last campaign to go to every single town in one day to stop and take pictures and say hello to who I can. So it's possible. If you put in the effort, it is incredibly possible to meet these people where they're at. So I'll be out. I'll be around. I'm going to keep track of all the news of things that go on here. I'll be making videos as they come up and as I find things. And as I see Burkle and Johnson make votes on bills and anything I feel that is wrong. And even fellow DFLers, when they make bill votes that I feel are wrong, I have no problems calling them out. We need to do better for this area. It's small communities and they hang on by a thread. School closes, a business fails. It doesn't take much for people to leave and they do not return. I love rural Minnesota. I moved out here by choice. I don't want to leave it. I'm going to do everything I can to keep people here where they want to leave or live. Leave. I don't want them to leave. I want them to stay. I want to stay. I'm not going to be afraid to call these people out. Again, I put a letter to the editor into the Times, the local paper here in Thief River, and I called out quite a few people. They called me about an hour after I dropped it off there and said they're going to give them a chance to respond, which I think is fair because I did call them out by name. I hope they do. I hope they respond. I hope they publish both our stuff side by side. I don't think it's right that they're not called out on these things, that they're just skating by. We have a voice. It's time to keep using it and not let up. National politics, we all see what's going on there. I'm not going to try to get involved in that as much. Michelle Fischbach is CD7, Minnesota House Rep for federal, and that's a whole can of worms that is awful. I've been banned from her social media for years now, so I don't even know exactly what she's saying anymore, but maybe I'll find an alt and get on there and see how the crap she's doing. But for now, I'll take some videos, some protests tomorrow, and maybe we'll make another video and see if we get any good signs there, because those are always fun. Thank you, everyone that had good words of support. People saying, hey, learn to make shorts and everything. I'll do that. The people that said, hey, you should run. I've done it. I'll do it again. People that said I need to look more professional. Look, I got a haircut. I used to have incredibly long hair. I donated probably about 3 feet of that this summer. So take what you can get. The guy said that my glasses weren't trendy. You're wrong. These are amazing. But thank you, everyone. This has gone on for a lot of me just talking. Again, I don't know how the YouTube algorithms and everything work. I don't know how the Reddit algorithms and everything work. I've been on Reddit since I was, probably 15. I should have figured it out by now. It's been probably close to 20 years. I don't even know anymore. But thank you all. I'll see you out there. I'll see you online. If anyone has any questions, message me. I'm around. I love politics. I love learning about the area. I love helping this area. Uh, ERCAT's been a part of my life forever. I'm keeping up on all the news on that. I'm going to do what we can. Thank you all so much if you've listened to me this long. Bye now.